Today we're going to be doing 1.2 sequence of transformations. So first, our learning targets. I can identify the sequence of transformations that will carry a given figure to another. This specifically, if we were to flip the page, is this. Can I tell what two things happened to get figure D onto figure E? So I'll get this one to match up right here with this one. Okay, that's what that means. Second, I can understand that the composition of transformations is not commutative, and I can justify congruence of two figures using properties of rigid motion. So that second one is, I can do it right here. Think to yourself, what's 2 plus 4? What is 4 plus 2? They are both 6, but I swapped the numbers. That's okay. That's the commutative property. That means that no matter what I add together, as long as it's the same two numbers, right? 2 plus 4 and 4 plus 2, it's going to be the same thing. That's commutative. We're saying that transformations are not like that. So, whatever order they are in, you need to go in order. So, for these problems down here, it says to reflect and then translate. You cannot translate and then reflect. You might not end up in the same place. Okay? So today is all about doing multiple transformations in one question. So that's what sequence of transformations is. Taking more than one transformation and combining them. Okay? So first thing we're going to do is the forward way, if you will. I'm going to start on point C, and it's giving me things to do, and I need to find where C is going to end up. So the figure below is reflected over the y-axis and then translated down 2 units. So I'm going to take C. If I reflect it over the y-axis, that's this one. And if I were to mirror C onto the other side of this line, it would end up right here. So I'm starting at -1, 3. That's my coordinate point. I'm ending on +1, 3. That follows our rules that we talked about in 1.1. Okay? After that, it says to translate down 2 units. So I'm going to go from here, 1, 2. That coordinate point is 1, 1. And that is what I would put into delta math, because now that I've reflected and translated, it's asking me where the coordinates end up. Okay? So 1, 1. I'll do it one more time and then we'll move on. So we're going to cross that one out. Okay. Figure below is translated up 2 units and then rotated 180 degrees. So I care about y. I'm going to translate up 2 units. So y is originally at -8, -8. Up 2 is going to bring me to -8, -6. And then if we remember from last class, well, if we don't, my rule for rotating 180 degrees looks like this. So my original order pair is always x, y. What I'm saying is I'm changing the sign on x and y. That's how I'm going to rotate 180 degrees. So you could either use patty paper at home or patty paper that I've given you on the homework if you get here to have some. Or you're using these rules that we learned in 1.1. So you got 2 ways that you can do this really easy. So if I'm switching the signs on -8, -6, that means I'm just turning the negatives into positives, which is going to put me right here. Okay, so my final answer in Delta Math would be 8, 6. And my shape would look something like this. Okay, so it would have rotated like that, if you want to put a whole visual to it. Okay, let's come down here. Let's do the next part. So that was, you're given the transformations, you do them, you find where the shape ends up. Now you're given the two shapes, you have to figure out what happened. Okay, if the figures seem to be mirrors of each other, then it's a reflection. This is a bunch of words for it's been turned or spun. If you're looking at it and you think it looks like it's been turned around, then it's a rotation. And lastly, if it looks like it's just been moved or slid, or it's not quite in the right spot and you need to shift it over, then that is a transformation. So you're probably thinking, what am I talking about? Let's take a peek. Okay, first off, we need to read the instructions so we know where we're going. We're starting at figure D, we're going to figure E. Okay, so I'm starting here, going here. Here's my thinking. I see this longest piece of the shape, and I see that they're facing each other. Moved a little in the wrong spot, but they are facing each other. That to me says that I have a reflection across the y-axis. Okay, so if I reflect the point 2,7 over the y-axis, that would put me at negative 2,7 right here, and 5,1 will become negative 5,1. So my longest piece right here is gonna land right there. And I see that they're right on top of each other, so I don't need to reflect, I just need a translation. I just need to shift it down. Specifically, I need to shift it down 7 units. Right, so I'm going from 7 to 0. So that'll be down 7. Okay, next I'm going from M to N. I always like to start in my head with a reflection, like, can I make a reflection happen? And I'm thinking no. I think this had to have been completely turned, because it looks like this side ends up right here. They're not facing each other. They're not completely opposite of each other either. So it looks like it's more just been like turned down. Okay, so my first thought is a rotation, and it's a quarter turn, so I'm going to say 90 degrees. That would be counterclockwise, or you could say 270 clockwise. Okay, that is going to put, I'm going to use this leg right here, this little tiny one, that's going to put that little spot right here. I've done this a lot, which is why I can go through it pretty fast for the sake of time. You would be using your rules or your patty paper. Okay? Or you can just have done it a million times like me. Okay? That's how you're doing this. So from here, I see that I just would need, well, it would look like this. I just need it to go up. So that is another translation. This time up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. let's see. Test these out on your own, I think. Nope. This is, I'm not going to go into specifics, but this looks like it's a rotation, then a translation. And then this one is a rotation and then a reflection. Okay, so get the specifics, but I think we got this. Try the homework out. Email me if you have any questions. I'm always here after school too. You guys are awesome. Have a good day.